So, lads, today is it's time to talk about it. It is time to talk about it because there is a bit of an elephant in the room for the Chicago Sky. And I'm going to be honest, it's a real tough one to talk about because I think Hailey Vanlith is going to be a player. I think she's going to be a WNBA player. However, for the Chicago Sky right now, she is just not ready. Like, I think Hailey Vanlith has earned her spot on a team. I don't think she's the right point guard for Chicago Sky, which is why I literally made a video about... I thought she was going to get very limited minutes because I'm like, if they're trying to run through their bigs, Vanlith is a player that kind of relies on space. Like, Vanlith is very, very good. She is a very good playmaker. She's not a good, like, true, quote-unquote, true point guard. I don't even know what a true point guard means anymore. But, like, that's realistically what Vanlith is. Like, if you guys have looked on this channel, I've talked about it on this channel where it's like, if you look at this, I'm like, perfect team for Hailey, and I put her in a Sky jersey for clickbait, and I literally said the Sky is the worst possible team that's in and around, like, in and around where she's going to be drafted. Like, it's the worst possible choice. And then it was like, I was like, the reality, she's going to be on the end of the bench. And I was like, people are expecting way too much about Hailey Vanlith. And then obviously in preseason, she had 10 points, 10 assists at 2 games. And I stand by that. Like, I do think that Hailey Vanlith had a really, really good preseason. I think she's a solid backup. I think depending on the team she played on, I still think she can be a WNBA player. And she can be a decent one. I'm just scared to see what's going to happen. Because there's a really big problem. And it's the reason why Hailey Vanlith did not work out at LSU. Is that Hailey Vanlith dribbles the ball too much. Like, it's as simple as that. She is a point guard who dribbles the air out of the ball. And, like, there are a lot of point guards that do that as well. But, like, when you are a team that you've got 2 bigs that you're trying to get the ball in towards, you're trying to run a pick and roll, and she's not the pick and roll maestro that a Courtney Vandersloot is. She's not that pick and roll maestro. She's not. But what she can do is she plays really well downhill. She's able to get downhill. She's able to make reads with one big. The problem is that her all-around court vision isn't really there. I don't think she's a bad passer. I think she's a good playmaker. She's good at drawing in coverage. She can hit players. She can get quite a lot of assist numbers. But it's just her passing laterally sometimes is a bit iffy. And the thing is, when Hailey Vanlith sees pressure, and that's the difference between the college and the WNBA, is that in college, she had the handle. She had the handle to burn people. Like, she had the handle that she would just go out there and burn people. No question about it. Like, when Hailey Vanlith was in situations where she was, where she's being pressured, didn't matter. She had the handle to get out of that situation. She had a Sedona Prince who, for college, was better than the equivalent of the players in the WNBA. I'm not saying Sedona Prince is better than the players that she's playing with. I'm just saying that, like, college Sedona Prince is better than WNBA Cardoso based on their, like, who they're up against and their competition. However, that was still even a little bit of a struggle in college. And it's not saying Hailey Vanlith's bad. It's saying that she now has to be the only point guard in a roster who can't sign a hardship, who doesn't have the money to sign anyone unless they cut Maddie Westbeld. Like, Mariah Jefferson's on guaranteed money. They don't have more than 10 players. Like, they have to cut Maddie Westbeld. And the team wants Maddie Westbeld. Like, realistically, in hindsight, I don't even mind a HVL signing. The team should have tried to do whatever they could do to get off Mariah Jefferson. They should have tried to get off her. And if it meant packaging somebody, they probably should have done it. But what they should have done was try get off Mariah Jefferson, keep Sloot there, and have Hailey Vanlith and Tahina Paopao on the team. Bring in both of them. Because Aisha Sivka, I still really like the Aisha Sivka pick because I think she'll be good in a couple of years. She's a perfect player to have in the team. Like, there are not many, like, archetype. Like, there are genuinely, they're genuinely not a, like, they don't grow on trees. They genuinely do not grow on trees. 6'4" shooters that play a bit of defense, and the Sky have one of them. So I don't think the Sky's future is that bad, but like the Sky's present is. And it's funny because the Sky winning and losing games does not make any difference. The Sky don't control their own first round pick till 2028. Like, they do not control their own first round pick. Like, people are like, oh yeah, the Sky can tank this year even though they don't have their pick for next year. A bit like the Connecticut Sun. So like the Connecticut Sun are tanking this year. And the thing with the Sun is that they have to tank this year because the WNBA does their draft lottery on a 2-year basis. So because they won 30 games, nearly 30 games last year, or did they win 30? Like, if the Connecticut Sun win 10 games on the year, which they're probably going to do, it's the equivalent of winning being nearly 500 2 years in a row. So they're going to have the worst lottery odds. So the Sky are probably going to get the 5th pick. However, the Sky sucked last year. The Sky won 12 games last year. Or they win 13. I can't remember. They either won 12 or 13. So if the Sky go and win 12 or 13 games again this year, you're giving the Minnesota Lynx. You're giving the Minnesota Lynx the first pick. And like, the Minnesota Lynx can then get exactly what they need, which is a big, like, they can get exactly what they need. Or they can just go and make the trade if they don't want it. But they can take AZ Foot. Like, the Lynx can take AZ Foot if they want. The Lynx can just say, you know what? We really like Alana Smith and we're going to keep her. We're going to keep Jess Shepard. All these players are happy to come back. We brought them all back. So what are we going to do? We're going to take the highest upside player in this entire draft and we're going to take Awafam. We're going to take Awafam number 1 and have this elite footwork, 18-year-old, 6'4", 7-foot wingspan, big, who can turn over both shoulders and is more athletic than Lauren Betts, and is 19 and is going to improve. Like, seen as the best international prospect since Lauren Jackson, including Dominique Malonga. Like, I still think Malonga is a better prospect, but the Lynx can do that. But when it comes to the Sky, they're now in a situation where Vanlith has to play 30 minutes a game. Like, and as bad as Vanlith, as much as she's not ready to play the 1, I stand by it. She's a better point guard than Ariel Atkins. She's a better point guard than Rachel Banham. She's a better point guard. Like, is Angel Reese going to have to play point guard? Like, if they can't trust HVL, Angel Reese has to play point guard. Like, this team is really struggling. This team's really struggling because they don't have much going for them. They really don't have much going for them right now. And like, the only thing this team has going for them is the fact that the Connecticut Sun suck. Like, that is the only thing that this team have going for them. It's not even about them. It is that there is another team that they own the rights to their pick that also suck. But like, they don't own the rights to their own pick. They don't own the rights to their own pick. They don't own their own pick. Or they don't control their pick for 2 years. Because if they suck, and they suck again next year. And by the way, it's going to be even harder to make the playoffs next year. Because do you really think, and people are like, oh, loads of people are going to want to go to Sky. Do you really think the Sky is an attractive place to go next year? Because if you look at the WNBA standings right now, teams that are in and around the Sky, are the Sky more attractive than playing with Paige Bueckers? No, they're not. Stars are going to want to play with Paige. Are the Sky more attractive than Connecticut? Yeah, but if the Connecticut Sun relocate to somewhere like Boston for next season, if it turns out they've been sold and are relocating to Boston as early as next year and it's the final year of Connecticut, no, you're like, new expansion teams are going to get better facilities. Are they as good a location as LA? No, they're not. It's just not as favorable of a location as LA. Is it better than going to the Mystics to play with perfect teammate Sonia Citron, to play with Kiki Iriafen? And also the fact is that the Mystics are likely going to make some sort of a deals around Shakira Austin. They're going to be able to swing some sort of deal around restricted free agent Shakira Austin or Aaliyah Edwards to build around them and get some young pieces. And you've got elite players and rookie deals. And I'm sorry, Citron and Kiki is a better duo than Angel and Camilla. The Valkyries might be the number 1 free agent destination next year. Would you choose them going over the Storm with their facilities? No. The Aces, maybe. The Mercury over their facilities? No. The Dream? Sure. They might be a more attractive prospect than the Dream, but like, you're looking here and you're like, there's a very good chance this team doesn't make the playoffs next year. And if they don't make the playoffs next year and they stink it up this year, you literally might end up giving the Washington Mystics, Juju Watkins, or what's her name, Madison Booker. And the Mystics don't even have to tank. The Mystics literally don't even have to tank. Because the Mystics being good means the Sky are more likely in the playoffs because they made that Ariel Atkins trade. They actually don't even have to tank anymore. And you better believe Ariel Atkins is going to want to walk. And the Sky are going to be caught in a situation where they have to give Ariel Atkins the Supermax. They're going to have to core Ariel Atkins to keep her because they have to keep her, and they give her the Supermax, which ruins the flexibility of the roster because you're paying Supermax to a player you probably don't want to keep just because you gave up stuff for her. And all this is culminating in having to literally run Caitlin Clark, or say having to run Hayley Vanlith at point guard as a starter, or else Angel Reese playing point guard. Yeah. Madness.